Yeah, they thought this was like the beginning of the end.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Pearl Podcast. Today we're going to talk about long distance marriage and why it matters more than you think.
Oh my gosh, my wife is leaving me. When you're gone, the house is quiet. Trying to get what's in here through my mouth for you to understand.
Among many things he was, is, and will be, is a husband. And today we're going to talk about what it's like for him to be in this long distance relationship. Dave,
Maria,
thanks for coming today and for agreeing to be part of the podcast.
Oh, you're welcome.
So would you say that you have enough experience to comment as an expert husband in this relationship?
Yeah, I would definitely say that I am well qualified to be commenting and talking about being a husband, specifically your husband.
I hope so.
The number of years that we've been married has really been a lot of training and education about that role of being the husband.
Okay, so how many years has it been now?
It's been 23 years since we've been married.
Yes, and I always have to go back to the date to actually calculate that because we have a very good date.
Yes, and I did, right before you asked that question, I did the math in my head.
So 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
So about 2 years ago, I decided to explore a different job. And when I was preparing to do so, I had to come up with a way to ask you or talk to you about it. Do you remember the details of that time and how you felt?
Yeah, I remember the conversation, sort of, more the setting. It had occurred in our bedroom, and so the lighting was low, and you were talking to me about this thing that you wanted to do, and more like you were informing me that this is what you wanted to explore, which is work at that time outside of California, right? And the first location was going to be Hawaii. And so I do remember, and I just remember thinking like, wow, that's really cool.
What did you think? What did it hit you? Like, were you blindsided? I mean, what were your thoughts at that moment?
I mean, my thoughts were immediately like, okay, so this is going to happen.
It was already for certain that it was going to happen. It was I didn't even have to ask you.
You didn't have to ask, exactly. I mean, it was more like, I felt like, it's your choice, and I'm going to have to come up with a way of dealing with that.
Okay, mind you, we'd been married already 21 years at that point.
Yeah.
And accustomed to being with each other, taking care of the household, the kids. I get it. The kids are moving on. They were in college and things like that. However, did that strike you as intimidating that you were going to have to sort of do it by yourself at home, take care of the household and all these things? Did you at all feel that, and on another topic, that was selfish of me to leave you with all the tasks?
No, it's just, it's nothing I haven't done before. I mean, we've each taken care of all the kids separately as individuals, even for short periods of time, a weekend here, a week there. I think back to the trip to Croatia where I had like all our kids plus Andrew, and I went there, and I knew that there would be a plan. There was going to be a way of figuring it out, and you weren't going to leave me in the lurch and say, okay, now you figure it out. You've always been very thoughtful and prepared things, and we have a good way of discussing things and planning things out. It was, I guess, the confidence that I have that I had in approaching that. I go back to planning our wedding. That's still to this day the most convoluted, devil in the details venture that we had ever undertaken. And we weren't even married yet. So we had been dating for like 3-4 years already. And then we decided to do this wedding. And that was my first experience of taking on something that was way bigger than I had imagined.
So what I'm hearing is that it didn't seem like at the time when I basically told you about my plans, that you were feeling that you were going to be dumped on and there were going to be a lot of things at home that, how dare she leave? Did you feel?
No. I mean, no, I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel dumped on or anything like that. I was very excited at the time for it.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
so was that more about me leaving so you could do things that you wanted to do?
Yeah, exactly. Finally, I can, walk around in my shorts, with my shirt off in the house and not have to hear anyone say, "Oh, you have to put your shirt back on."
Well, did you ever feel that at any point, maybe did it enter your mind that maybe there were things that you could take care of that you've always wanted to? Was it ever such that being together here hindered anything that you might have wanted to pursue?
Now that's it's hard to answer that because that's what I ended up discovering in the break, in when you left, that there was a little bit of extra empty time, and I had to feel it because I normally we talk a lot. I mean, we converse. You ask questions, I give answers, I inform you about my day, and so that takes about a couple hours of every single night. And after my job of my household job of cooking ended, then it was kind of quiet in the house, and what do I do? And I stopped watching TV incessantly, so now there was all this filler time. And so I discovered after you had left, like, oh, I can practice my drumming, I can pick up the ukulele. Started doing more of my leftover work that I would just cram into my work day. So yeah, I discovered after the fact. I didn't know that was going to happen. I just figured I was going to come home, cook, take care of the kids, and then go to sleep.
Now, along the way, you must have told people that.
Oh yeah.
And so, what was their response to the situation?
I mean, to the person, I'm here. They're like, most of my friends are like at work and stuff. So I'm telling my friends at work, like, hey, guess what? Maria's going to go to Hawaii. She's going to go work there, and they were all like worried about it. Every single person was like,
so you probably thought we're
are
getting
you okay?
divorced.
I mean, are you guys okay? Like, yeah, they thought this was like the beginning of the end, and I was like, oh, no, this is good. This is a career thing. This is for your growth. This is something you wanted to explore. I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it. And then when they saw that I was okay with it, then they were fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if privately they went back to their spouses and said, dude, you know what happened to Dave? Maria's leaving him. I don't know. They haven't told me that. They haven't told me that.
Well, do you think it sparked any interest in other people in pursuing the same path?
I would hope that it did, but nah. I mean, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't think so. I think it speaks more of maybe the nature of our relationship, the strength of our relationship.
So what do you think the challenges have been along the way, if there were any? Or
I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of, when you're gone, the house is quiet.
What does that mean?
It means I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't have anyone to talk
something?
to. No, it's just there's no one to talk to. Maybe in other families, the kids are out and about and they're talking to their mom and dad and stuff. But our kids are probably very representative of their generation, and they just come home, hey dad, what's up, and then they go to their room, or they're doing their homework. Like Maddie would be at this table doing their homework and stuff. But she's occupied. And I did have some more time. I mean, definitely, I did have moments to talk to Gabe and talk to Maddie, because those are the two that were home. And then when Joey would come in. So I had these moments that were surprising, that are like, oh, I can talk to him without anyone else around.
Do you think that your relationship may have actually become different, or you grew with them in different ways that maybe you didn't expect you were going to?
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at it, I mean, they may have seen us as the unit of mom and dad, mom and dad, mom and dad, but now mom is gone for 4, at the time it was like 4 days a week, and she would come back 2.5 days. And so maybe for them, they saw that, our parents are no longer together and reliably together to come home. So maybe that was a shock to them, but I think they rolled with it. Maybe they thought that, but when they saw that you were on the phone and you were just as available to communicate with they saw me, and then on the weekends they saw us together. They have busy lives too, so I don't think it was as much of a shock to them as well.
I mean, thank goodness, not for COVID, but for the technology and other innovations that came about during COVID that allowed people to sort of have long distance relationships and do things virtually. And I think that really kind of entered my mind in the terms of when I was considering doing a long distance, not really, I wasn't considering doing a long distance relationship, but considering a move because of my career. And so I think relationships have changed. And also by the same token, they've blossomed in different ways. And I think that's where technology has allowed us to do that.
Yeah, I definitely think the access that we have to each other through the technology has made it a lot easier. If we had to do like letters, it may have been way difficult. Like if this was like 100 years ago, I'm not sure I would have dealt well with that.
Yeah, I know. Do you think that there have been any positive things that have come out of it?
It's kind of just from my perspective as the husband that I want to be. I want my spouse to shine. I want her to excel. That's always been my MO. I think I may have probably told you that, I want you to succeed. I want you to do whatever you want to do. It's a promise that I made to myself for my mom, as I've told you before. So this just fell right in line. Like, this is the way I can support my spouse, as I've always wanted.
I definitely felt supported.
So
I wouldn't have pursued it if I didn't feel that way otherwise.
Yeah. So I think it allowed me to flex that part, to exercise, put my money where my mouth is. This is what I always wanted, so now I get to do it. So definitely it gave me that. Among other things, I mean, you encouraged me to get that personal trainer. And so that definitely helped. You know, there's, in the mornings when no one's around, it can be kind of boring. So I get up, go to the gym, come back, and there's no time. I got to go to work. So it filled the time and made the time go by very quickly.
Now, a lot of people I have since interacted with, a number of interesting things have come up.
Oh, yeah.
I, in my patient interactions, have learned just by them getting to know me that, yes, there are people who have sustained long distance relationships, even beyond 10 years. And they all encouraged me just because of individual growth and whatnot. So among personal circle, some friends or family members have also inquired more into it, but I'm not really sure the spouses, husbands in particular, would be so ready to accept and sort of promote that in their wives' lives. So do you have any comments about that for them, and advice maybe where their husbands might not feel so not just intimidated by the situation, but maybe to help them see that it might support their wife in ways that they wouldn't have ever known, to not feel so necessarily insulted if their wife wanted to pursue something elsewhere in terms of their professional career. It's because it's not, in my situation, wasn't anything that was anything personal, actually. It was this opportunity professionally. And I think that some husbands may feel intimidated. Is that something that you have a comment on?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously scared. I think, that's what I think. They're looking at it as like, oh my gosh, my wife is leaving me. Maybe that's the first thought that they have. And they're scared that they're losing their wife. And my advice would be like, no, trust your wife. She's your wife. She's your spouse. You married them for a reason. And especially if you've been together more than, probably, just picking a random number, probably more than 10 years. Because I think if you spend a decade together, you're going to see everything. You're going to get to know each other. And if you're still together after 10 years, you're going to probably have success in the next 10 years, and so on and so forth. If you have a strong relationship together, trust it. Lean into it. And don't be afraid. they're not going to leave you. They're not saying if they wanted to leave you, I think they would probably just left you. At that point, I mean, and so trust your spouse.
So is this something that you would recommend to other people, or?
Yeah, just to have a conversation with themselves. Answer the question, why is she leaving me? She's not leaving you. She's going to go work somewhere. She's going to go explore an opportunity for self-growth. And this is all assuming the same parameters of like, you're going to work and then you come back. I think it may be different if like, well, I want to go away for 6 months and never come back home, and I'll see you in June.
I'm not sure technology would be as comforting in that situation. So.
Yeah, I mean that's probably not going to fly. That means like, what do you mean you're not going to come back? But if it's just a work thing, trust it. And again, if you love your spouse, why would you not want them to grow? Why would you not want them to be challenged?
I think communication is really pretty important in how you relay these messages, the wife to the husband and the husband to the wife. What would you say has happened to our communication this time period?
Oh, sheesh. I mean, it's definitely grown. It's definitely improved. I mean, communication between us has, on my part, has always been a challenge. It's trying to get what's in here through my mouth for you to understand. And
well, it's a two-way street, right? Communication.
Exactly. And what you're feeding me, am I eating, what am I getting here? And sometimes what I think I'm getting, you're not saying, you're not intending. Right. So I think that is like probably a number one challenge for any couple.
Right.
Any two people that are trying to communicate. Words can sometimes fail, and often they do. So just the conversations that we have, the situations that we've run into together during this time apart, with our family, with the house,
there's been a lot of circumstances that you actually managed by yourself and
exactly.
did it quite well. Things that I would have otherwise done had I been at home, but instead you took care of them, and it didn't sound
I think
like
you were away at the time when we were doing the remodeling and stuff. So I'm like, to me, it was just one other thing to do. Either you're going to do it or I'm going to do it. You're out of town, I'm going to do it. So,
do you think the kids have had less so because I haven't been around?
I mean, I don't know for a fact that they haven't. I mean, that's a lot of negatives there, but so. Could they have missed out on something? Yes, I think so. Your presence is important. Your physical presence, I think, is valuable to a child. But our kids are not like 10 or 11. They're all 18 and over. At the time, they were 16 and over. I did appreciate when you told me that this was going to happen, that you had cleared it with our youngest kid at the time.
Yes,
and she was okay with it. And she has enough strength of will to say like, no, I want you here. So you can believe what she says. And she did well. I mean, she did well. She knew she had me. She had you available at a touch of a button. You were definitely available. So so did they miss out? Maybe. I'm not going to say that they didn't. But what I think they gained was seeing their mom. And this is the result now, looking back as we're approaching our 2-year anniversary. You are better as a person. You have improved your perspective and your work life. I mean, this was specifically for work, but also for yourself.
Yes.
When my friends and colleagues at work ask, like, hey, how's she doing? Like, I say she is back loving what she does. What she was doing here, even though it's the same job, was not giving to her. It was just not, you lost the joy. I mean, it was not good. It was just a job. It wasn't, the passion was gone. But when you left, suddenly it's as if it was your first day, like during fellowship, that you were seeing all these different things. And I saw professionally, it totally resurrected that. That part just came back to life. And at the same time, all these other
our relationship and
then the things that you started doing. I mean, you did the pottery, you did the hot tub stuff, the hiking, which, I'm partial to hiking. So it was wonderful to see that. So, and I think the kids saw that their mom is still their mom and she's still home most of the time, and she's better. I think if you ask them, oh yeah, she's happier, she's better.
I really appreciate you participating on this podcast, because I think that if I was just having a conversation with you, you might not have exposed yourself so much.
Maybe.
So thank you for answering those questions. They may have been a little tough or a little bit digging deep, but
Yeah.
hearing those answers is really fulfilling to me. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for listening to the podcast today. If this episode was helpful to you, then please hit subscribe. And otherwise, we'll see you next time.